I'll borrow your ring.
Yeah.
Piece of this for me.
That's Chris. What's that? Sign. We gotta sign that, that's right.
Just so you got any of them forms, conflict of interest? What's today?
The 11th.
My day started before this one.
It's almost 11111.
Uh-huh.
At 4 o'clock.
Had to have a wife.
US.
Hospital at 5:30 this morning. She had surgery today.
I don't. Well, my son used to have Verizon. It didn't work well. We've been having some issues with US Cellular lately. I mean, it had got really good at that.
Having thyroid problems.
They're going through this 5G. I don't know.
Went in there and took one out here in the list. So
Working
one of them
exactly
giving
like
their
it's supposed
trouble.
to yet.
Lowering her calcium.
Yeah, she needs that.
Well, I used to live with us. Take him to see the top man.
Yeah.
Took the anywhere in the house down to on the front wall or up.
It would have to be there at
I think
5:30
it's all,
this morning.
like I say, I know that somebody had said that they had called and asked about it. They said it's all because of this 5G turnover that they're doing, but they just haven't been able to.
Ask some old ass.
I was looking at the phone and I didn't know.
I wish they had put a cell tower up on, Phelps' Knob or down there on down there below the school up on the knob. What's the name of that knob they call it?
I was going.
Mike.
Yeah, Lonesome, yeah,
Mike, you know what this $50
yeah.
all these people's about?
It was for the people that worked the polls at the election. They were
Right.
approved through their board, and then it came here, then they approved
Yeah.
it. I had the same question when I went through,
$50 for
but I
the
had
election?
forgot.
I was the same way, but I thought
For the
it was
people who
awful
work
low.
the election? I didn't.
I think they had maybe 200 something. I met with the election board after, and they had told me then.
Yeah,
I didn't know what this thing was.
that's, I didn't either. He asked.
Poll workers.
That worked.
Poll workers.
That's cheap. Used to be $100.
Well, it looks like everybody is back, so I'll call the meeting out of recess. And the first item, I'll ask Robbie if he'll lead us in our invocation and pledge of allegiance, please.
Let's all rise. Oh, kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day that you've provided us. We thank you for the many blessings that you've passed down upon us. Lord, we just ask that you watch over us, keep us mindful of our duties during this meeting, and help us to make the decisions that need to be made for the best of this county. We ask you to be with those that are sick and shut in. We ask for you to be with those that have lost their loved ones in this past few days, Lord, and just keep and hold them tight. Lord, just ask for you to be with our country as we go through some struggling times. Just watch over us and direct us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Robbie. Our first item on the agenda for our open session passed our invocation and pledge the citizens' time. Do we have anybody signed up?
Mr. Nobley would like to speak. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
And we'll have a time limit of 3 minutes, and I'll start that whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry?
We have a time limit of 3 minutes, and I'll start that when you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, if it's okay, I'll keep the mask off. Thank you. This distinguished member of the Board of Supervisors and a respectable Mr. Michael Watson. Good evening. My name is John Nobili. My wife, Virginia, and I have owned the Carroll Wood Campground and Fish Lake business in Woodlawn, Virginia for over 50 years. We also operated a roller skating rink for 35 years. Our Carroll Wood property shares the largest boundary with the former Southwestern Training Center, with a total distance of almost 1,000 feet. If the sale of the training center to Acadia Healthcare move forward, we respectfully request that an appropriate 8-foot tall hurricane security fence be installed along the shared boundary line between the two properties. This will help prevent many of the primary issues already cited on the Carroll News as concern of having a facility like Acadia Healthcare as a neighbor. Good fences make for good neighbor. I'm a strong believer of that. We want to protect our private dwelling and personal property that we have spent the past 5 decades building, investing in, and paying taxes for as loyal county resident. We do not want to deal with issues like trespassing, and we want to protect the safety and security of our private dwelling, and we want to provide for future security for potential buyer of our property who could reopen the campground and fishing lake in the future. Right now it's closed because of health reasons, but it's going to reopen someday. We believe good fences make good neighbor. A company the size of Acadia Healthcare, with annual revenue in excess of $3 billion and evaluation in excess of $7 billion, can easily afford this request to ensure they are being good neighbor. We respectfully request that you, our elected representative on the Board of Supervisors, be our voice on this matter and speak up for the loyal citizen of Carroll County who will be most impacted by this charge. I'm done here. We put our trust in you when we elected you to your position. We are once again putting our trust in you to be our voice on this important matter. Please talk to Delegate Israel O'Neill to include this fence in the condition of sale. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. We certainly take your comments under advisement.
I know you've been here too long. I'm done. Have a good night. Thank
Good
you so
night.
much.
Thank you, John.
Is anyone else? If there's no one else to speak in citizens' time, we'll go to the payment of invoices. Need to approve that if you agree.
Make a motion, we approve payments of invoices.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion to pay the invoices? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. I'll start with Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. The next item is approval of the minutes of our previous meeting.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of our previous meeting as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
I had one I was wondering about the syntax under the call to order. It says the meeting was called out of recess at 4:30. I think that should mean it went into closed session at 4:30. Other than that, I didn't see anything.
Will we recess from the previous meeting? I'm not sure.
Or did we just, we didn't adjourn the last time?
We may have recessed, and if we
Okay.
did, we just
It
came
just,
out of recess.
it struck me as being different than we normally do.
It is, it would have been.
If there's no other discussion, I assume you're ready to vote, and I'll start with Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw.
Yes.
Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Yes. Under new business, the first item is approval of the consent calendar.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the consent calendar? Hearing none, I'll start with voting with Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes 6-0. I think our next item is a presentation by Ms. Witt from Twin County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Laura Witt. Like you said, I'm the Executive Director of the Twin County Chamber of Commerce. I started back in April, and I want to thank you guys for having me tonight. I've been trying to get out, but with COVID and everything, it's been hard to come and see you guys, so thank you. I just want to begin by saying that the Chamber takes pride in representing Carroll County. I love coming over here. I live in Galax, but anytime I get to come to Carroll, I just love it over here. It's so pretty and nice, and the growth here is so admirable, and we're here to do our part to help continue the progress. We finished 2020 with about 150 members, and we look forward to growing and continuing that in 2021. We have set our goal in 2021 to about 200 members, so we're hoping that we can either meet that or surpass it. So this past year, just to give you a little update on what the Chamber has been doing, we launched our first ever 15 Under 40 Awards, which highlighted professionals throughout the Twin Counties. So we selected 5 professionals under the age of 40 from Grayson, Carroll, and the city of Galax. We had about 33 nominations from the public. They could nominate anyone that they wanted to. And we had a selection committee who chose those 15 professionals. And the Carroll recipients were Zach Lineberry, Laura Beth Parnell, Leanna Surratt, Valerie LaMonica, and Brandon Bowman. All have different professions here in Carroll County. And that's something that we're going to continue to do annually. This year we're wanting to kind of start a little bit earlier, so we'll probably have nominations available maybe in May, and then our hope is at Smoke on the Mountain, if we're able to have that event, that we can announce those recipients for 2021 there at Smoke and get it going a little bit sooner this year. So one of our goals for 2020 was to have more events for members. So we were able to host one Chamber After Hours networking event this past year. And in 2021, we want to do those monthly, so either virtually or in person. Our first one's going to be virtually on January 28th. It's on a Thursday. Just to kind of let people come in, business owners, anyone who would like to just come in and tell us what they're doing, and if they have anything that they want to promote from their business, we'd be glad to do that. Just to kind of get people together and let them know that we're here for them and for their support, anything that they would need. And then we're working on a new event called Coffee with the Chamber. We want to do that at least quarterly, where we meet with professionals individually from the Twin Counties to allow them to share what their business is doing or what they might want to promote that month, or just let us know, what's going on with them. We're always looking for more businesses who would like to host virtual or in-person events. So if you know of a business or if you'd be interested in doing that with us, just let me know and we'll be glad to get you scheduled. So for 2021, we are launching our Civics Committee. We actually had a press release a couple weeks ago in the paper about this. We're really excited about it. So this Civics Committee is going to work to increase voter information in the area, voter registration, awareness, assist with future census collection, and to help host information sessions on how state legislation works. And this committee will also take over our Poor Man's Dinner that we have with the Fiddlers Convention in Galax every year. So Gerald Goad is actually going to be our chair for this committee, so we're excited to work with Gerald a little bit closer and kind of get his knowledge in on it, so we're excited about that. We're also working with the Small Business Development Center and GALAX to host more informational sessions for businesses regarding PPP and EIDL loans and things like that with COVID happening. It's a little bit, businesses are a little confused on what to do, so we're going to partner with them and a couple other organizations to host those webinars so that everyone's informed and they know what they're eligible for and what they can apply for. So our board is always growing. We had 3 new board members in 2020, so we are up to 17 out of 21 board members available. So we're growing, and we have mission-specific committees. So our Smoke on the Mountain Committee has been meeting since October to plan that, and we have changed the dates. Originally, it was going to be the second weekend in July, but now it has changed to the third weekend in July, and that is because if you're familiar with Smoke on the Mountain, previously we've had the Memphis barbecue sanction, but this year Kansas City is actually going to be back with us, so we'll have a little bit bigger of a competition. 2 sanctions will be a little bit busier this year, so we wanted to add KCBS back, so that's why we moved it to the third weekend. It's going to be July 23rd and 24th, so we're excited. We do need sponsors for that, and we're offering 10% off all sponsorships throughout the month of January, so if you are interested, we do have community sponsors where you can be an individual sponsor if you'd like, and all of our sponsorships are listed on our website, the Smoke website, and our Facebook page, so you can find that there. You can always email me and I'll be happy to get that to you. We're also working on getting more family-friendly events at Smoke, so that's one thing that we're trying to add to that this year. So we're excited and we're hoping that we'll be able to have it. We're optimistic. We also have a member services committee, marketing committee, and a professionals network committee. So tons of things to do to get involved if you are interested or know anyone that's interested in becoming involved with the chamber. And ribbon cuttings are something that we do for our businesses all throughout the Twin Counties. They're completely free. We take care of all that just to try to get publicity out to the newer businesses and just to welcome them and let them know that we're here for them. So yeah, if you're interested in becoming involved with the chamber, you can contact me. Our Facebook page is pretty informative. It has everything that you would need to know. And yeah, we're looking forward to bringing new events to Carroll this year. We're excited. Does anybody have any questions?
What are the sponsorships?
The levels, so they start, like the community sponsor is the cheapest. I think it's $250. And then it goes all the way up to platinum, which I think is $5,000. But there's different things that you can do, and if you want to kind of do your own thing, you can do that too. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for and how much you're wanting to sponsor. So, yeah. Anybody else? Well, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time, and thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Mr. Durbin, I think you're up to speak about Valleycom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could, about call in the hallway and see if the representative has appeared.
Yep.
Emma? Valleycom? Mr. Chairman, pursuant to the board's direction, I sent a request for Valleycom to appear at the December meeting to discuss progress and or lack thereof with Valleycom under the contract between the county and the company. Mr. Hamler advised that he wasn't able to appear in person due to COVID, but would be available for a teleconference or phone call or alternative means. I emailed him back accepting that, and then did not hear back from him. On December 4th, I believe, might have been the 7th, I wrote again to Mr. Hamler asking that he appear at this meeting, either telephonically, by Zoom, or in person. I've not heard back. He's not here presently, so for what that's worth, I'll allow the board to draw its own conclusions on that. But I think at this point, to our knowledge, we've had no progress reported, no leases presented to us, or other agreements pursuant to that contract. So I am happy to respond according to your directive. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to address that.
Could you explain the legalities of the contract that we're faced now?
It was an exclusive dealing agreement where Valleycom would represent the county in marketing properties to the telecommunications industry to essentially locate antennas, towers on county property or property that's owned by constituent entities of the county. That agreement was executed. It will be, I think, 3 years coming up in, I believe, September. After 3 years, there's an automatic right for the county to terminate, although the agreement could continue without termination for 5 years from the original date. So here we are 2.5 years into the contract, and I've been asked to review no leases or other agreements pursuant to a request of Valleycom. To my knowledge, there's been no progress whatsoever.
Do we have the ability to terminate early at this point because of
I
non-performance?
think you can always terminate a contract for breach of contract. And in this situation, I think we've got a fairly good argument that that's the case.
And I use a contract and agreement kind of simultaneously. I'm not sure which it was exactly.
They're really one and the same. I'm using them interchangeably as well.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we terminate the contract
Yeah. I'll
as
second.
of
Immediately for cause.
immediately, you know.
I would say, my suggestion would be let me give notice of termination
That's fine.
within 30 days, and I'll send that out immediately if you approve, and give them a 30-day notice of termination.
So my motion will reflect what Mr. Durbin just stated.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll assume we're ready to vote. In that case, I'll start with Mr. Philip McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes, passes 6-0, please.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The Robbie and the Philip is missing out. Thank you for your work on that. Our next item is a presentation from the regional library and an update. Welcome, Trish.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate the warm Carroll County welcome. I'm the new regional director at the Galax Carroll Regional Library. My name is Trish Ford. I wanted to give a little bit of information about myself. I've been employed with the Galax Carroll Regional Library now for almost 15 years, since February 2006. I received my Master of Science degree in Library and Information Studies from Florida State University in August of 2009 and received my Professional Librarian Certificate in October 2009. And my entire library science education I did online over the internet, so I didn't have to, leave my employment in Galax, at Galax Carroll, and head down there. So that worked out really well for me. I enjoy working with people at the library, and I'm looking forward to serving the citizens of Galax in Carroll County in this new capacity. The library will be providing additional library services to citizens, such as notary public services on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at the Galax branch and Fridays at the Carroll County branch. And we also hope to take appointments to do passports as well, and to help, take a little bit of burden off the Postal Service. To recap, the fiscal year 2020 is an infographic that was included in your packets. Basically, this is a snapshot of fiscal year 2020. I was really proud that we had 79,707 library visits. I just want to highlight that patrons here in the Galax Carroll area have access to 258 e and physical items. Over the last year, we had 85,080 items borrowed, and we had 13,836 computer uses. So we're really trying to meet the needs of the citizens of the city of Galax and Carroll County, both with physical items and also e-items. And e-items, I mean e-books, e-audio books, articles. In the interest of time, I'll move on along. One program that we were able to continue, even though we were closed by COVID-19 for the effects of COVID-19 for 3 months, Youth Story Time was one program that staff person Sarah Largen carried on in fantastic fashion. And you could check those out on our library Facebook page or our library YouTube page. But she did an excellent job of making it fun and entertaining and a bit educational for the young folks. Like many transitions, or like many organizations, over the course of this year, there have been several transitions at the library. Melanie Hemingway, the past regional library director, retired on April 1st, and I was honored to move into that position at the time. Sarah Largen, our past youth services coordinator, she's been with the library 7 years in that capacity, and with the regional library for 11 years, was promoted to regional cataloger assistant director effective June the 1st. To fill her position, a young lady named Angie Lenore was hired on September the 14th as the new Regional Youth Services Coordinator. She is especially passionate about reaching out to the young adult community. Finally, Erin Morton joined the Regional Library team on October 26th as the Regional Finance and Records Specialist. Overall, we're very happy that the library is open at 50% capacity as a walk-through library. Staff are encouraging patrons not to linger, and that's exactly the opposite of what we've done for all the time. I'm sure that the library has been around because we've tried to get the public and community into the library. But to keep it safe for everyone, we're just encouraging them not to linger. Currently, there are many libraries across Virginia that are still not open or have opened only for a short time and have recently returned to curbside service only. We're keeping a safe and clean environment for our patrons and staff at the library. This includes daily high-touch cleaning on a 2-hourly basis to ensure surfaces are as clean as they can be. When people use a public computer, we cover the keyboards with saran wrap, and then when they finish, we put new saran wrap on the keys to help reduce the transmission or any possible transmission of the virus. We're quarantining all library materials for 1 week before they are checked in and returned to the shelf. The library board has also kindly agreed to suspend all library fines for this extraordinary time. Also, library staff are not shy about insisting patrons wearing masks inside the library. If patrons are unable or unwilling to wear a mask, we gladly offer them curbside services. Recent library programs include our fall adult and youth reading program, which concluded in November. We had 135 adult participants reading 529 items, and we had a grand total of 131 participants for the youth program. Current programs include Virtual Storytime by Angie Lenore, and those are posted on Tuesday mornings. Take and make craft bags that complement the week's Storytime are available for pickup at the library. Teen to-go bags are available for pickup that include a variety of crafts, activities, and snacks with a free book included. These to-go bags have been very popular due in part to our communication with local schools. Also, a book walk has been set up at each library. This is a self-guided outdoor activity for young library patrons in which they follow numbered signs to read a story, and they get to take a stroll at the same time. I would like to invite each one of you to visit the library and apply for a library card if you don't already have one. And I would also encourage you to check out the regional library's website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube page. We're trying to up our online presence and be there where our patrons are. Looking ahead, I wish to close by expressing the desire of the library to be an active Carroll County department, helping to meet Carroll County goals. I would love to talk with any of you about how the library can continue to help meet community needs. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
I just want to say, you sound like you're doing a great job trying to provide services in this.
Well,
tough
thank
time.
you so much. I didn't touch on it too much, but we are providing internet access 24/7 in the library's parking lots. We're working with Lingo Networks to extend Wi-Fi access to the gazebo over at just beside of the Carroll Library, because while we're limiting people's time inside the library, we don't want to limit their access to information. So we're really trying to meet those needs.
Did you bring a musical instrument with you today?
No, sir, I didn't, but I should have.
I have a question that you may not be able to answer, but in November of 2019, I was attending the VACO meeting, and I had my name entered into a drawing which was actually pulled out of the drum, and I was supposedly, my prize was to give $300 donation to the library here.
Yes.
Did y'all get that? 'Cause I
We
never-
did, yes,
Okay,
sir.
great.
Yeah,
I never heard anything about that. So.
It made it to us,
Okay.
and we definitely appreciate that.
Well, I'm just glad I got lucky that day.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe another time I can bring my banjo and provide a little after meeting entertainment. But thank you so much for your time and attention this afternoon. And again, if you think of something later, definitely pick up the phone and give me a call. Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our last item on the new business involves a budget adjustment for multiple problems from the Department of Social Services that amounts to $321,000. However, this is 100% reimbursed by the federal and state funds, so no local matches will be required. So this is just basically a formality, but anybody have any questions of that? If not, we have a motion to do that.
Let's assume that that will cover the revenue, that would be added in the revenue side too. Since-
The way that I understand it is the revenue is to offset extra expenses that they had. So,
Yeah, so that would be a revenue.
yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I think later in the year, they come and get some local money, if I'm not mistaken. Sensing you're ready to vote, then I'll start with Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw.
Yes.
Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes 6-0. That includes all of our new business unless someone has something I'm not aware of. All right, we'll move into old business, which is committee appointments. We visited that a time or two, and does anybody want to take any action tonight? We have some vacancies that you've had some applications for.
I'll make a motion to approve Martin Slate for the EDA.
I'm sorry.
Martin Slate for
Martin
the
Slate.
EDA position.
Is there a second?
So moved.
Does he live in a town?
Is
by
there any
chance?
discussion on that?
Does he live in a town by any chance?
He's over
Okay.
Arjuna.
Any discussion on that? We just have the one position to fill, is that correct?
Yes.
Hearing no more discussion, I assume you're ready to vote on Mr. Slate to be on our EDA. I'll start voting with Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. Ross McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm sure Krista will notify him.
I will.
And there was a note on here that my appointment to District 3 is up for reappointment by either me or somebody else, if somebody else would like to do that. That ended at the end of December.
I'll make a motion, we reappoint you.
I'll second that.
Boy, that was fast. Any discussion? I assume that you're ready to vote, and I'll start with Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Robert McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Abstain. And they also suggested that we need an alternate in case I can't go. That could be an appointment, I think, as opposed to, does anybody want to volunteer to do that? So far, I've not missed a meeting, but who knows what's to happen. We meet every other month. Be 6 meetings this year.
If you can't go, just holler at me. I'll fill in if necessary. Don't have to make an appointment.
All right, we've got some others here that,
Mr. Chairman.
I was gonna make a motion to appoint Christine Ardito to the Mount Rogers Community Service Board.
okay,
I'll
Ms.
second
Bass
that.
is not eligible to be reappointed for that position.
I'll second.
Any discussion on Ms. Adito? Did I pronounce it correctly?
I think so, yeah.
Hearing none, we'll start the voting with Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
yes. And Michelle Dalton's rooftop appointment is expired as of the end of the last year in 2020, so she's been very good about coming.
Yeah. I make a motion, we reappoint Michelle.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All right. I believe you're ready to vote. Mr. Robbie McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
yes. And the Budget Committee expired as of last year, December 31st. Does anybody want to appoint 2 members to be on the Budget Committee? Board members, that is. Shall we do an Army volunteering?
I'll volunteer again.
Is anybody interested in working on the budget?
I'll work on it if nobody else don't want
Good
Okay, we
idea.
got 1 volunteer.
I'll volunteer.
Okay, volunteer, Rex and,
to. You, Joe? I'll volunteer to work on it.
okay. Do we want to make that in the form of a motion? Mr. Moore and Mr. Hill?
Make a motion that we place Mr. Hill and Mr. Moore on the Budget Committee.
Second.
No.
You second? Okay, I can't hear you, sorry. Any discussion? All right, we'll start the voting, Mr. Moore.
Abstain.
Mr. Robbie McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Rex?
Abstain.
Okay. Mr. Philip McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Yes. Passes 4 with 2 abstentions.
We forgot the Mount Rogers PDC, Steve Weinset.
We still have the PDC and the social services to look at, is that correct?
I'll make a motion we appoint Steve Weinset to the Mount Rogers PDC.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Okay, we'll vote for Mr. Weinset to be on the PDC, and I'll start with Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Yes. I think everybody's on except for our social services.
Is this the first
Yeah.
time that this?
Is that my point?
announced?
That's your point.
I have 2 people, they haven't applied,
You want to hold that?
so, but I do have 2 people, but I'd as soon have them apply and then the board.
Make a motion, we pass that off till next
Okay.
month.
Yep, till next month.
Okay, we'll table that one.
Mr. Chair, could I ask Crystal, if they applied for something else, can they just transfer it over to the social services if they're like EDA applied right now? Or do they need to fill out a new
If you'll just,
application?
if they'll let me know, or you let me know. or
Okay,
something.
okay.
No, can we have a motion to table the social service appointment? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I assume you're ready to vote for that. Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Yes. I think that concludes our committee appointments. Our next is a franchise agreement for GFL, which I think is the refuge.
I hope you're getting paid. Since we kept you the last.
Were you gonna go over this with us, Steve?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you have a proposed agreement for waste hauling services. It's curious issue with the county code. It uses it describes permits and exclusive franchises, but that's not typically the way the county has proceeded. Last year, I believe in actually December of 2019, the county advertised for solid waste franchised services, non-exclusive franchise by my reading. And I think that all members of the board were in agreement to approve the franchise with GFL / Waste Industries. And then it was referred to a committee for consideration of any additional terms that might be negotiated. I don't think that ever was followed through on, and so and then COVID-19, of course, sidetracked many issues. And so here we are in 2021 with the need to approve the agreement. So it's forward-looking in that it approves and basically constitutes an agreement by the county to issue permits for each calendar year moving forward for the next 3 years. Also, it's backward-looking in that it has a provision that the 2020 permit is deemed issued. So through no fault of their own, Waste Industries / GFL would not be deemed to have violated the county ordinance. It's just something that I think got lost in the shuffle with the COVID-19 issue. The way the contract is structured, it provides for if the county is using services for roll-off services at the Cana Convenience Center or anything like that, there's pricing for that if the county is going to be the one that's actually procuring services. But primarily this agreement describes the terms that would apply to Waste Industries, GFL, moving forward as a permitted hauler in the county. So insofar as it's the county doing any purchasing, I've also done an attachment that goes with this that incorporates our standard terms and conditions, make sure that we're in compliance with the Procurement Act and has all those necessary terms in it. But primarily, this is an agreement to issue a permit. And I don't know if you've had a chance to review it, sir.
I have, but none of my VPs have.
Okay.
We like to look at it, see. Everything looked good in it.
Okay.
Everything looked real good, so I
Great.
don't think we'll have a problem.
Great. What I would propose is the motion to approve the agreement and authorize the chair to sign, or the county administrator to sign, or both. And if we do have any concerns that come back from Waste Industries, we could just come back and kind of correct that if there's any amendment that needs to be made. We can come back to you with any tweaks. But assuming that it's going to be permissible, we could sign and get this agreement in place.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody have any questions of Steve?
I've got a question. Looking at this rate sheet, it says weekly trash collection is going to go to $18.55 per week?
That's
No,
what we wrote,
month.
that's what we wrote it on last, December of 19.
That's a month, correct?
Yes.
Not weekly. You pick up the weekly.
I thought it was going to go up to $18.55 a week. Okay.
I thought the same thing when I read
Weekly
it first
pickup would
time.
have a monthly bill of that. Yeah.
Okay, because now it's quarterly, right? Right. Okay. And how do you get that senior discount?
Believe it or not, they sent us a copy of their driver's license.
Okay.
And we fax it to us either way, and we'll give it to them.
Okay, thank you.
I have a couple questions also. A lot of people down in my area, down toward Dougspur Way,
Yes.
they say that they can't have service.
Because the routes aren't big enough yet to start service down there because it's such a long way, but we're trying to increase it through the landfill by handing out flyers and stuff to give them information.
Yeah, that was going to be my next thing. Is there something we could do, a mailer or something that?
We're going to do a mailer also this year, try to canvass that area and see how many we get.
Right.
We try to do it where we can be picking up at least about 40 homes per hour. And that's what we look forward to. Now, Cana, that's a whole different story.
Right.
We have went from last year, we reported about 2,500 homes, we're up to 37. So it's done a really good job. So we were trying to get Doug's book in. So,
Yeah.
Is it possible you can give some pamphlets maybe to Tracy, he can put down to the community
Yeah,
center?
we could put down there somewhere, because I mean, they just
Okay.
blow me up looking for a phone number to call all the time.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Because I think one of the questions I'd had back a couple months ago on it was that with the agreement and all, that everybody could be serviced if they had a place that the truck could go through
Right,
or a turnaround.
right.
And then all the people that were, that was my mentality, and then all the people that were calling me, they had both, you know,
Right.
and they're still wanting getting service, you know, so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look at that and see, when I get in office tomorrow morning.
All right.
See how many we got out that area.
Okay.
And then I'll get with you and maybe. just
Yeah, if we
send
can
them
get them
out.
in some places down there, and, you
Right.
know, that way they know, and it's an opportunity, and hopefully can help service the citizens that way too.
Right.
Any other
Hey.
questions?
1855, that's a dump each week for a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you went from, how much down at Cana, up to 3,700, went from where?
For the whole county.
No, I mean,
But
at Cana.
But from Cana, we was running the truck down there just every Monday. Now we've had to split it up into two routes. It's running Monday and Tuesday.
Maybe you can add some mechanicals to the Doug's parade.
Yeah. We'll look at that and see.
Come up through Law Fork and across.
Yeah.
The container, how much do we have to pay for that?
Nothing, it's free. And the delivery is free. The only time they would get charged if they don't pay the bill, and then we gotta pick it up, and then you take it back out. That's the only time they get charged.
Anybody else? Do I hear a motion that we accept this contract based on what Steve said?
I make a motion that we allow county administrator to sign that document.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Since you're ready to vote, then I'll start with Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw.
Yes.
Mr. Robbie McCraw.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you for being here. That's all the old business that I have listed. Does anybody else have any old business that we need to talk about? Did you find out anything about that grant that we discussed earlier?
Not yet.
Somebody else may remember, we have a broadband grant, that's hard to say.
You resemble that remark.
About $150,000, I think we have to use sometime by springtime. And Mr. Watson was gonna check into that.
Have you found out any more on the hot spots?
Yes, we have already ordered, we signed, we've written the check, and they're ordering the hardware. And once they get the hardware in, we're gonna work with each each location in each district in order to have it.
Okay.
So we're gonna put 5 in, we're gonna go for 12 months.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. In this building, we can't, it's within the building at this point. If you're outside, you can't access. Can we expand that for the county here? That would give the town some as well, if we'd expand it, at least where people could come in. I know with the school being like it is, some people have difficulties getting online and Zooming the classroom and stuff. If we provided that within this area, it would be, probably be helpful too, if you could add that on
We can
there.
check on that if it's not already planned.
Any other old business? Anything hanging out there we need to talk about? All right, well, we'll start with our board member comments, and I'm gonna start with Mr. Robbie McCraw.
Congratulations, you and Tracy. I think y'all do a great job. Really looking forward to this next year, hoping we can continue to improve on some things in the county. And thank everybody for being out and the information we received tonight. Hope everyone has a safe trip home and a good evening.
Are you finished?
I'm done.
All right, Mr. Hill?
Yes, I just want to ask everybody to get their vaccines if they can for the coronavirus, and do what you can to eliminate that. And also, Mr. Watson, would you look into, explore the idea of, we eliminating the contract. Let's explore how we might go about doing that ourselves, or some kind of recommendation for us going forward. And that's all I've got to say. Oh, you might check with the health department if since we're so close, if they're giving out shots here and they have extra, maybe we can get the county employees, other than the first line people, maybe we can get those folks vaccinated if they have extra, you know what I'm saying, before the requirement. I don't know what you can, but,
I think that they're going to try to include us
okay.
in the 1B category. However, they're going to they're going to go ahead and vaccinate up to a certain level before they get to us, and they don't have the vaccines for us yet.
Okay,
But
okay.
there is, hopefully within the next week or so, we'll be able to entertain into it.
Good.
It's coming along, and unfortunately, they're not doing the vaccinations here. They're
Oh.
doing them in Galax.
Oh, okay.
And, it had to do with
Number of people.
having to move from one location to the other in order to get them
Yep.
done. So hopefully the people at the schools the teachers will be able to get theirs as soon as possible and moving forward. But
That's something else I want to compliment the school board doing the work that they've done. I know it's difficult for the teachers and grandparents and parents, everybody that's trying to help teach, and they're doing what they can. And I appreciate that. That's all I've got.
Thank you. Mr. Philip McCraw?
I'd just like to thank all the county employees and all of them that's worked so hard through the COVID thing. We're still not through it. They've all been exposed to it at different times, and they've been brave enough to go forward, and I appreciate it. The paramedics, sheriff's department, if I start naming them off, school, leave somebody out, but if you're a county employee, I appreciate what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Webb?
I want to thank all the county employees and all the county staff for the excellent job they do. I know it's a tough job, and it's been going real well. The only big announcement is I am not going to seek reelection after this year. I have weighed very heavily on it and thought a whole lot about it, and I just wanted to get that out early this year so people that in the Law Fort District that may want to run for this position, they can go ahead and do it. I did talk to the registrar last week. Used to, it was February 15th, you had to be registered in order to run. But she said this year, due to the fact the state is redistricting, that's probably going to be put off until March or maybe even April, and the primaries would be put off until August. So if you're interested in running for this position, good luck, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Moore?
I'd just like to reiterate what everybody else has said. Thank the county employees and for all they do, and Mr. Watson for the transition over the last couple of months. Appreciate the updates on things and keep us informed on what's going on. And thank all the board members for all they do, and feeling that I have the competency to be the vice chair of the board. It means a lot, and I appreciate that. And come into this job and to give 100%, that's what I'm going to continue to do, and look forward to working with you, Tom, for this year, and hopefully a lot of good things can come out for our citizens. And number one, that's what we're here for. We're here to take care of our county employees and our citizens, to give them the best way of life we can. So that's what we look forward to. Everybody stay safe, and thank you, Mr. Durbin, for all you do for us. And Joe, I've enjoyed it. We still got a year, though.
Still got a year. 11 more months, but who's counting?
And, but I guess that's all.
Well, thank you. I hope everybody has a great new year, and we have 11 months and 2/3 left, so I hope it continues to be good. I sent out an email that was kind of crazy, but Kenya has put up about 30 balloons about 60,000 feet up to cover their entire country with Wi-Fi and broadband, and I mentioned that to Mike, and it'd be nice if we could just get one balloon up over Carroll County. But he actually contacted the companies, but he hasn't gotten an answer yet, so it may be a crazy idea, but at least it's an idea. And I'm more than likely gonna miss the next meeting. I have scheduled a trip that I didn't realize was a conflict, so you may get so you may get to get on the fire next time. I gave you a month.
We'll help you all we can.
Hey, give me a month.
I mean, things could change. And I have an announcement also, and I actually wrote it out so I could read it. But 14 years ago this month, I made a decision that I never thought I would do. I filed to run in the 2007 general election for the Pipers Gap District seat on the Carroll County Board of Supervisors. It's been a decision I have never regretted, one that has been filled with both rewards and a few challenges. I've made many new friends and contacts throughout the Commonwealth. This year I will have been on the board for 14 years. It is now time for someone else to occupy this seat. It is not without some sadness that I'm announcing tonight that I will not run for re-election. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve the citizens of Vipers Gap in particular and the citizens of Carroll County in general. And I'll thank you for the opportunity to represent you, and I believe great days are ahead for our county. So, with that, I'll call for a meeting, motion to adjourn.
Wait, Mr. Chairman, I forgot something.
Oh,
I want to make a motion that we approve
I forgot something too, but go ahead.
approve the finance director position and the recreation director's position to be filled once you send out for the thing for the finance director to the board. If that,
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? That's been a hole we've needed to fill for a while, I think, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Don't hear any other discussion, I guess we'll,
His comments,
I know.
if he's got
we'll
any.
do the- That's what I forgot.
Oh, okay.
We'll vote on the motion, and we'll start with Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Robert McCraw,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
yes.
Mr. Philip McCraw.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes 6-0. And I forgot the county administrator's comment, so that was the thing I forgot.
Well, I don't really have anything tonight other than, I'm gonna miss you both. For these past 2 months, you've been great, but I still got a year to lean on you. Other than that, I just wanna let you know that it's been a great transition so far. I've met a lot of good people, and I'm enjoying it real well. And I look forward to the year coming ahead of us too. That's all I have.
Glad to have you. Now, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Go somebody, win tonight. Sorry about that, but